Now I asked myself if Tiffany Mish, Lisa Cooper, had sexual relations with Andrea Faulkner. Now, for me, I'm going to call upon Joe McKinney. And the reason I'm going to call upon Joe McKinney is because remember that time we cooked chitlins, Andrea? Me and Joe, by the way, was sitting there at the table talking. And you came from wherever you came from, Andrea. And you said, yeah, you know how to cook chitlins, too. And as me and Joe McKinney was sitting there at that table chatting, Andrea, remember how you volunteered to, help me cook chitlins, right? And then me and you, Andrea, stood there at that counter cooking them chitlins, huh? Now, if you were such good friends with the Coopers, how come Joe didn't know you and your mama knew how to cook chitlins? How come it took that one time for me to be standing there in the kitchen mentioning what my mama and me did, what my uncle and me, had, and whether or not I ate them, and if I knew how to cook them? And remember how you interrupted? I said you wanted to be me then. The Lord made me remember that day in that kitchen sitting at that table with Joseph McKinney. Because you just always wanted to be me, didn't you, Andrea? My sister, again, Sherrod, do you like having the reputation of being an attorney where you think you can represent yourself? Yes, I like having that reputation. And every now and then I do say I might sue you, and every now and then I did sue people. Now, whether or not that's a bad thing or a good thing, I don't know, Bobby Joe Champion. But I would ask Bobby, when you went to law school and you got the reputation of being an attorney, did you like having that reputation, sir? Because Andrea reminds me of the type who might have been under that community action type of program where you was paying that bitch's rent, you was paying a car note, and you and Andrea had just been friends all these years. And Andrea thought she had gossip on me, like with Carl. I keep saying when, Bridget took me to Carl I thought had a curl, and he looked totally different than when I met Carl at Michael Cooper Sr.'s house. And Carl and I don't think ever had a conversation about Bridget. I don't remember me and him sitting around talking about Bridget, specific to when my friend died, and then I went to her funeral. I don't remember Carl Jefferson at Bridget Flowers' funeral. In fact, as I was in the back at Bridget's funeral, I was so humbled because, again, my friend passed, and I kept saying, I'm going to go see her. I'm going to go see her. And at that point, I told myself, never put off tomorrow what you can do today. And even now and then I do it, because like Shayla, I always said we were going to have a family picture, and I kept putting it off. And now I can't have one with my daughter by my side, Andrea, Bobby Joe Champion. But I want to make sure that on this day, because Joe's birthday, if I'm not mistaken, September 15th. His was August 15th, and my daddy's was September 15th. I thought them two men born on the 15th had similar, Southern characteristics. And I don't know if my daddy ever apologized to Michael, but I know Joe apologized to me. He said he liked the way I took care of my kids. And he said Shayla and little Michael could always have Cheetos. I didn't have to wait for him to give, Shayla and little Michael Cheetos. Right? He said he was sorry for calling me a bitch. Now, again, God struck me down. The man's in heaven, I hope. I hope that no matter what his indiscretions was throughout life, it allowed him to go to heaven. Everybody should get to go to that everlasting place, Andrea. So you might want to make amends now. Quit playing games, little girl. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. And I damn sure would have had sex with you. In terms of if I was gay, you would think, what you would and wouldn't tolerate. And I wouldn't tolerate a bitch like you because I can't stand your ass. I just can't.